Coming up on UCF Nightly News. The end of the semester is almost here. We have everything you need to know about the graduation ceremonies.
And hear a first-generation student's story. We'll tell you how she's breaking barriers to get to graduation. Plus, a program at UCF is expanding. We'll show you how more lifetime learners are continuing their education.
In sports, we'll have an update on how the football team prepares for their upcoming spring game.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon, Knights, and welcome to this special edition of UCF Nightly News. I'm Crystal Ruiz.
And I'm Hakeem Dixon. Today is April 21st, 2017.
The end of the semester is here.
That's right, Crystal, and we're dedicating the next half hour to everything graduation and summer.
The big day is right around the corner for the class of 2017. It's a memorable time for students and their families, but for UCF Police, safety is the top priority. Officers say they will be using metal detectors as well as checking bags. Officer Peter Stevens shared a few things people should know ahead of time so the process goes smoothly.
There will be also bag checks at the entrance to the arena, so we ask you don't bring large bags. Make sure that there's small clutches or something along those lines. And most of all, have patience, because it will take a while to get all 10,000 of your closest personal friends into the arena.
He also says traffic is always an issue, and guests should be aware of road closures before they arrive. Guests with disabilities can be dropped off near the Barnes & Nobles or the Alumni Center for easy access to the arena.
Students who are graduating can pick up their tickets starting on Monday. Each graduate will get 5 tickets with their cap and gown. Graduation ceremonies will take place at the CFE Arena from Thursday, May 4th to Saturday, May 6th. Morning ceremonies begin at 7:30 and the afternoon session starts at 1 p.m. For more information on graduation times, check UCF's official commencement page. Organizers say ticket pickup ends Friday.
Thousands of students will be crossing the stage this semester. Many of them will be the first in their family to do so. Reporter Diana Lise Fuentes tells us about one first-generation student's experience.
Yerima Tejada is the first in her family to go to college. She's now graduating with a bachelor's in social work, but her journey to college was intimidating at first.
Well, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs come out of college and you feel, that maybe you came from nothing or not much at all.
In high school, Tejada joined the Upward Bound program. The program is an extension of Student Development and Enrollment Services at UCF, which helped her apply and get into college.
It's like, oh my gosh, I need to know what this thing is, what this word actually means. So I actually went out and applied for the program and I got in.
Studying from UCLA shows graduation rates are much lower for a student whose parents never attended college. The UCF Assistant Director of Multicultural Academic and Support Services, Cindy Muñiz, says sometimes the students don't know how to deal with this new experience.
The struggle of being in a new environment with new expectations and new values or new structure, and then not knowing how to balance the two different environments.
Muñiz also says not all students take advantage of the resources available at UCF. Tejada agrees.
Look for resources on your campus. There's so many resources we don't know about that could really help us.
Until graduation, Tejada will be working with the same SDES offices that help her starting out. Reporting in Orlando, Diana Lise Fuentes, UCF Nightly News.
Tejada says her dream job is to help troubled youth. She hopes to return to school in the future and work on a master's degree.
Graduation is an exciting time for students, but transitioning to the real world can be intimidating. Career Development Team Assistant Director Laura Crouch says it's normal to have fears about finding a job after graduation. Her team's most recent survey shows the job search has recently looked more promising for graduates.
Almost half of graduates had accepted job offers at the time of graduation, so that was at taking the survey. Then later on, beyond that, so in the weeks, a lot of them were maybe waiting on several offers.
Crouch says 8% were offered multiple positions, 30% were still searching, and 15% hadn't started. She suggests students stop by Career Services for advice on what might be the next best move for their future.
Finding a job is not the only concern graduates face. Some students are worried about how they will pay off student loans. Nightly News spoke with a soon-to-be graduate who says she will not let her finances get in the way of her dreams.
Just being a stressful mess and not getting anything done.
UCF senior Caitlin Kilpatrick spends time in the library studying for her next exam. But she says it's not just studying on her mind.
I'm only $27.20 in debt.
The Institute for College Access and Success reports Florida is the 8th lowest state with student loan debt. For students like Caitlin, they need to find other ways to make ends meet.
I'm trying to pick up extra shifts at work. If I've gotten desperate for money, I've gone as far as donating plasma.
UCF Associate Director of Financial Assistance Karma Mansell says UCF students are borrowing an average of $24,000 in loans. She says students can bring that cost down if they know the resources.
I think one of the major things students can do is look for scholarships. I'd like to say free money is good money.
Caitlin says she has a plan to keep her loan debt down.
During that 6-month grace period where the interest doesn't start occurring, just trying to get that down as much as possible and hopefully eliminate it before I go into medical school.
Caitlin says despite leaving school with some debt, it won't get in the way of chasing her dreams. Many students have a lot of questions about loans before graduating. To get those answers, you can visit UCF's financial aid office in Milliken Hall.
A new class of freshmen will start at UCF in the fall, and it was harder for them to get in than previous classes. UCF officials report the average high school GPA for last year's incoming students was 4.02, while the average SAT score was a 1262. High school senior Alexander Wardell says he hopes to be a future Knight.
And after doing a lot of reviews, talking to students online, other communications, I've found probably the best reviews for UCF.
Wardell says the beautiful campus and its diversity is what drew him to apply. School officials say over 4,000 more students were admitted into UCF in the past 3 years than previous years.
Applying for financial aid could be more time-consuming this year. The IRS recently announced a change to the FAFSA form. The IRS data retrieval tool will no longer be available. That's the tool that automatically inputs students' tax information into the FAFSA. But applicants will now have to enter their information manually. The IRS removed the feature for security reasons. This tool will return in 2018 once more security measures have been added. The Department of Education shows 80% of students apply for financial aid each year.
Coming up after the break, for some students, it is never too late to learn. A popular program for elders at UCF has plans to expand.
Plus, a recap of all the major news that has happened in the last couple of months.
UCF provides learning opportunities for students of all ages. A popular program is giving the elderly a chance to further their education. Nightly News found out more about the program's future plans on campus.
It took about 3 years, and then I finally got an opportunity to come here.
Almaro is a student of life.
It's a very good program, and I'm very happy to be here.
He says he's excited for the opportunity to come to the Life at UCF program.
An opportunity to meet some people, to hear some good lectures, and to be able to extend my own mind and my own thoughts.
Jim Burr is the chairman of the committee. He says Life students learn about a variety of topics.
Primarily, we direct our attention toward the academic subjects first with university professors, and then some community and general interest topics.
The Pegasus Ballroom is the meeting place of Life students on most weeks. Although space can get a little tight sometimes, Burr says not everyone comes to every class.
We seem to be at the 400 level on attendance. We have 650 members.
This upcoming fall, the program plans to expand from 650 to 750 members. President Vonnie Bradbury says they plan on expanding in many ways.
We're thinking about online learning and streaming. All technical terms that I don't really understand all that well, but we see that as an avenue.
Mara believes it is important for all seniors to continue to be educated.
As we get older, it takes more and more effort to keep your mind sharp and to be able to interact with people and to be able to hear about new ideas and new thoughts.
While it seems like students are in a hurry to leave school, many can't wait to come back. The Curriculum Committee is currently discussing topics of interest for the fall. For more information, you can visit life.ucf.edu.
It's been a busy spring semester. Nightly News reporter Jasmine Riley joins us to share some of the biggest stories on UCF's campus.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what makes news this semester in Orlando. In January, tragedy struck when a man gunned down Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. Orange County Deputy Norman Lewis also died in a traffic incident during the manhunt. Accused killer Markeith Lloyd was already wanted in connection with the murder of his pregnant ex-girlfriend. Lloyd's case is still developing as we follow each court appearance. After a close race, UCF chose the new SJ president and vice president last month. Nick Larkins and Christina Barreto won with just over half the votes. Just after spring break, over 30 cars were broken into near the Lake Claire apartments. UCF police arrested one suspect in March and are still searching for others believed to be connected to the string of burglaries. University President John C. Hitt celebrated 25 years of presidency this semester. The university held an event to honor President Hitt and everything he has done for UCF and the community. Lastly, Huey Magoo's and Asian Chow and the student union shut down at the beginning of the year due to food safety issues. There's also new food choices throughout campus, including Chili's, Pollo Tropical, and Boar's Head. That sums up the top headlines for this semester. Back to you, Crystal and Hakeem.
Some nights are gone, but they are never forgotten. Each year, UCF honors fallen knights. UCF recognized 18 students that passed away this past school year. Nightly News attended the rehearsal because the main event was closed to media. The Eternal Night ceremony welcomed families and friends. Coordinator of the event, David Orglethorpe, says that this is a special opportunity to remember loved ones.
The life that their students were living is very meaningful and impactful for the family. So the fact that we get to give them that opportunity is really nice.
A rose represents the student, and then each one is named an Eternal Night. Also, the Pegasus in the student union was covered in yellow roses and flickering candles.
Coming up, how some students are spending their summer getting experience that goes beyond the classroom.
Plus, a student who once fell victim to domestic violence turned her life around. We'll have her story right after the break.
Construction of UCF's downtown campus is set to start on May 11th. Officials recently met about construction opportunities for local businesses. The new campus offers combined classes with Valencia College. UCF's downtown administrator, Michael Kilbride, talked about the plans in merging Valencia and UCF students.
So we're excited to share some of the work that our faculty and the design team have been working on with the community, and we're excited to continue to show more in the coming weeks and months ahead.
Official design plans were unveiled at the meeting. The design expands on UCF's current downtown building by adding housing and a classroom building for both UCF and Valencia students. Orlando's Creative Village Development Review Committee approved the plans on April 12th. After the ground breaks next month, construction on the campus will begin.
While some students spend summer in the sun, others are working towards their dream. UCF says 20,000 students gain practical experience through co-ops, internships, and service learning projects annually. Kaylin Robinson will be interning with Melanie Pace, who is a personal stylist and fashion expert here in Orlando. She says this internship will help her get one step closer to her dream job.
Build that contact list of people in that industry, because even if I don't end up going into fashion, I want to still be a part of that entertainment, like glamorous industry.
Kaylin says she will be working closely with Melanie on different projects. She hopes to one day create her own fashion line and take the money she earns to give back to the community.
Some students here go through trials and tribulations, but one night discovered that school was just what she needed to find herself.
Never. I wanted nothing to do with college.
At first glance, Marjorie Bostwick may seem like a normal student, visiting her advisor and riding the shuttle to class. Bostwick became homeless 7 years ago after falling victim to domestic violence.
It was in that moment that, I didn't know who I was. I really didn't. I had lost my identity.
To find herself, Marjorie went to a place she never thought she would go. 4 years ago, she returned to school after being a stay-at-home mom. Through her testimony and hard work, she has gained the respect of her peers and professors.
And she was not just a typical student that would just give you 1, 2, 3, but she would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 200.
Marjorie documents her life from the day her ex-husband had her arrested to her decision to start college in her book, Who the Hell Do You Think You Are?
But I realized that there were a lot of women out there that were going through the same thing. And I thought that my voice could help them.
Marjorie also started her own nonprofit organization to help women who are victims of domestic violence. She has a message for victims in similar situations.
There is life after the storm, and there is a way for you to live the life that you've always wanted.
Marjorie hopes to continue working to help other women reach their full potential. Marjorie is one of 3 winners for the Dorothy Heights Scholarship. She plans to graduate this summer with a degree in sociology. Coming up, check out what the football team has in store for us in this upcoming season.
Plus, how one UCF group is helping the environment, one red Solo cup at a time.
Good afternoon, UCF Knights. I'm Chris Hargrove with your sports update. Let's take a look at how our teams did this semester. The men's and women's basketball teams capped off historic seasons with deep runs into the NIT tournaments. The women's team finished with 21 wins in the regular season. They lost to Georgia Tech in the second round of the women's NIT tournament. The men's basketball team matched their season high in wins with 24. They lost to TCU in the semifinal game of the NIT tournament. The men's baseball team is closing in on the final stretch of a successful season. The Knights, led by head coach Greg Lovelady, are now battling for the top spot in the American Athletic Conference. Coming up for the Knights on the diamond are USF, UConn, and in-state rival Miami. You can support your Knights as they take on the UConn Huskies tomorrow at 1 p.m. here at the UCF Baseball Complex. Football fans won't have to wait too long to get their first look at this upcoming season's team. Right now, the players are working hard to prepare for tomorrow's spring game. The defense is led by returning senior linebacker Shaquem Griffin. Head coach Scott Frost says he is happy with the team's progress his team is making and excited for this season.
I think we took a big first step of growth last year, but that was only a first step, and the things I'm seeing out here this spring make me believe that we're on our way to bigger things.
Sophomore quarterback Mackenzie Milton will look to lead a new-look offense featuring new 2017 recruits, including four-star running back Cordarian Richardson. That's all we have the time now. Back to you, Hakeem and Crystal.
Our time right now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Remember, this is the last show of the semester, but we will be back on August 25th. You can reach us at nsn.today. Thank you and have a great day.